Howdy folks, Kirk and Jason here with Kirk, Giordano Plastering, with another tip of the day of plastering fireplaces. I think I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm actually addressing a job that I turned down about a month ago. The guy called me and says, can you plaster the fireplace? And I said, sure. He says, well, I want it to match the sheetrock. I said, like smooth as a baby's butt? And he says, yeah. Anyhow, I said, okay, I'll swing by and give you a cost on it. He says, well, I'm going to make your life easy. And I said, what's that? You're going to do it yourself? And he says, no, I'm going to attach sheetrock to the bricks, and you can just skim over that. I said, actually, you can't do that because sheetrock is too flimsy, and you have to nail into the grout. What happens if you take a concrete nail, which these are half-inch concrete nails, and nail into a brick? The brick explodes every single time. So he says, well, then I'll use hardy board or cement board. I said, same thing applies. How? If you got hardy board over a brick chimney, how are you going to get concrete nails into the grout? Because if you cover it with hardy board, you can't see the grout. And so he did it anyway. And then he sent me a picture and says, what do you think? What would you charge me? I said, I'm not going to take on this job. Because what will happen is it's going to separate. And then you're going to forget I told you this. And you're going to swear it's all my fault. So I'm going to refer you to somebody else because I don't want to get into it with you a year from now when that fails. Anyway, guys, what we're doing here is the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah, I've been doing chimneys and stucco most of my life. And if there was a simpler way, I would know it. I got a wild imagination. I've got videos that show things that people can't even think of. So if there was a faster, easier method to achieve what they want here, they want it to look like sheetrock or smooth, I would know it. So this is what you got to do, guys. What we do is, Jason went ahead and he used a wire brush, fun. I said, you can do that job. Wire brush and his portable vacuum and got all the dust and stuff off. I don't want to inhale that kind of dust. If I'm going to inhale dust, I'm going to get high, not sick. If you do this and you inhale the dust, you're going to have a runny nose for a week. So put a mask on if you're going to do it, just like JR held the vacuum, just like he did. Anyway, moving on, I'll tell you about some of my UK comments. They say, Kirk, how do you hang those corners without a level? I said, carefully, man. You just do it carefully. I've hung thousands of corners, and what I do is, like say for example here, they're going to put slate over this, but I'm still going to give about 3/8 of an inch to a 1/4 inch of stucco over here, over everywhere, and we're using Eisenwall. Eisenwall, sold at the plastering material yards. When it sets, it's harder than concrete. What is concrete? Concrete is Portland cement with rocks. What is Eisenwall? It's hydraulic stucco, and it's with sand, and it's even stronger than most concrete. So we're going to make it really, really strong, just in case they decide not to use this insert and bring a cord of wood in here and drop it on here. And I have seen guys, they've used taping mud over here, and I said, well, you could do that if you have an insert, but it's going to be really frail. So if you drop wood on it, it's just going to indent it because taping mud is soft. It's gypsum. So what I'm doing is I'm setting this other corner here. We're going to put this corner on, and because we're going only 3/8, you don't have to go an inch over this, guys. 3/8 with the cement we're using is more than enough. So I'm going to set this one here. I thought I'd point this out, guys. This blue stuff, that's a bonding agent. It's called Weldcrete by Larson's. Can you use Quickcrete or Sackcrete, which are found in Home Depot? Absolutely. So we're full strength bonding agent over this because in a few minutes, my brother Lou is going to mix me up some Eisenwall. We're just going to pour it on here, and I'm going to take it out the bucket and spread this out. After that's done, I'm going to hit it with a lime finish. Lime finish, I buy Diamond, USG lime finish. And lime finish is much, much harder than, say, sheetrock. It's monolithic. It's when you add the water to it, it turns back to what it originally was. Limestone. Is it really necessary? It's a lot stronger, and it'll give me the finish that I want. I'm going to go a little bit smoother than this. Anyway, we're going to get started, and once I get to, say, putting on the base coat or the lime, I'll show you how we do that. And guys, again, the methods I'm showing right now, we've been using 40 years, and they're going to be used for another 40 years. This is not like cell phones. Cell phones change every month. Stucco applications have not changed since I've been in business. And I'm no spring chicken, so this has been going on for a long time. You can count on us for sound advice if you're watching anything we've done, because we've been doing it I've been doing it 40 years. We've been doing videos for about 16, got over 1,000. So if you're interested in how things are done, say, if this was a painted surface, I'd have to do something similar. But if you wanted to know how to do something, you just type in how to stucco over painted bricks, and a video will magically appear that we've done. I'll narrate you through the whole thing of our methods, and our methods are good. Why? Because if we screw it up, I got to come back and redo it for free. That instills retention of how to do things. Anybody can do applications. Material knowledge, that takes like 10, 20 years to learn that stuff. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to have Lou mix me up some mud. We're going to skim coat this. And when we get to the stage where I'm doing the lime, people like to see that, so I'll show you that part too. The fun stuff. This is where I get a lot of comments from UK. They say, Kirk, you're not a real plasterer. A real plasterer doesn't use a swim pool trowel. Of course, most of them don't know what this is. This I use because it acts as a derby too. I don't need a derby. I can just use this. So what you want to do is get your mud. What you don't want to do is pour your hearth first, because then I'll be inside my own mud on my knees. So we get the first coat going on there. And push it tight. Push it tight because we want it to adhere in the grout lines. What happens if it doesn't adhere in the grout lines? It will implode. It won't adhere. I'm kidding, guys. Here's another comment I get asked a lot lately. I guess it's because people have been watching our videos for so long. A lot of folks say, Kirk, how much longer you think you could plaster, or how much longer you think you have in your shoulders? And often I'll not understand the question. I'll say, what do you mean? I said, well, you've been doing this for 40 years. How much longer you think you can still do it before you wear out your muscles? And I thought, that is a kind of goofy question. You don't wear out your muscles, guys. They get stronger and stronger. The only thing that'll wear out your muscles is if you're eating gas station food. And if you're eating gas station food, yeah, I'd be done by now. I wouldn't be able to plaster. You got to have good nutrition. Got to have 8 hours sleep if you're going to do this stuff, guys, year after year after year. But it's a good living. It's a good legal living. Good way to earn a living. Good way to stay in so-called shape. And you're not robbing anybody. You're not having to resort to goofy stuff that can get you in trouble. So, for my buddies in the UK who say you're using the wrong trowel, I'm kind of fond of this trowel. I've been using it for 40 years. And they also say, Kirk, your hawk is too big. And the fact is, guys, this is 20 inches by 5. This is 18 by 18. The average is 14 by 14. Guys, use whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to use a 12 by 5 trowel, use it. If you want to use a shoe, use it. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot use. A couple rocks in this stuff, but nothing we can't handle. That's what happens when you go through winter and you have a couple bags you get from the material yards and they weren't covered very well. but that's okay. And if anybody, you try to do this, guys, the cement I'm using, I said it earlier, it's Eisen wall, or you can call it Rapid Set. Rapid Set is sold at Home Depot and Lowe's. Rapid Set is a sister product to Eisen wall. We buy Eisen wall at Westside Building Materials or L&W. And that's more for professionals like us, meaning we put our own sand in it. So I put my own sand in our material, but if you guys say, man, I don't want to put my own sand, I don't even know how much sand, go to Home Depot and buy Rapid Set because it's got everything in it. It's got the sand. All you do is add water. Can't get any easier than that. But too, guys, you can do the base coat with Quickcrete, Sackcrete, USA, Green Core, almost every stucco out there. Same day stuccos, doesn't matter. You could use all kinds of stuccos. Uno, you could use that. You could use anyone and just do what I'm doing, guys. And push it in there hard and get your corners too, guys. Like right here, I just looked at a job yesterday and a job I did a year ago. And anyway, they found somebody a little bit more reasonable cost, so they say. And all the corners were left undone. I told them, well, I'll give you a cost to finish it now, but I've got to redo a lot of stuff on here. So I say that is, if you're going to put corners on something, fill those corners up. Just fill them up. Don't leave them bare. Don't leave them hollow, guys. It's cardinal sin to leave them hollow. And when I get done with this, because the insert won't fit, now I've done this sometimes where I've plastered inside here and they go to put the insert, it doesn't fit. So once I get this done, I'm going to just shave it. Just cut it like so. That way the insert will fit. See, this large trowel, it allows me to get everything true and plumb without having to use a Darby. Anyhow, I'm done with this bucket, Jay. If you want to tell Lou to mix me up the last one for the hearth, that'll be cool. And we're just going to pour that on, guys. All right, guys, we're not ready for the finish coat. What I did here was, this is for you guys who, I get a lot of guys, they're young guys, and they say, hey man, I just joined the union, I'm plastering. I'm watching all your videos to get a head start on learning so that they're not calling me an apprentice and this and that. Here's something that's a little bit more advanced, guys. Okay, now what I did with this earlier is I used my trowel, and what that does is, see how smooth that is? That's called sealing the wall. It's sealed, it can't breathe. If it can't breathe, that just means I'd have to allow this to set another hour. I don't want to wait another hour. I like to do things quick. So I'll show you something. Not this part. Who's the best? You are, Kirk. That's way too soft for me to put the next coat in. But here's what I want to show you youngsters. This is a hard rubber float. You could use wood float, polyurethane floats, any kind of float. I want to open this so that it could breathe. If it breathes, rather than me wait an hour, I only have to wait about 20 minutes. So I'll take a hard rubber float and go in little circles, guys. Just go in little circles. Now, what that's doing is it's compressing it, compacting it, making it true and level. Do I need this to be true and level? Not really. But I want to open this wall. I want to open the stucco so it can breathe. Now, this will dry in about 15 minutes. And see, there's the logic behind all these different tools. This is called a Darby. How many different kinds of Darbies are there? Endless. Smooth Darbies. This one is a serrated Darby. I'll use this if it's really cold outside and I want the walls to dry. And this serrated part right here, it's just lines in it. It does the same thing that this hard rubber float does. It opens it to allow it to breathe. On rainy, cold days, these are a must. And this is also to make the wall trim plumb, so I could make it. I got a lot of videos on derbying, but if you want to really learn how to do it, just go to our channel and put how to derby, and we show you 8 hours of this stuff. But anyway, here's another way to dry this out. You take your derby and you go upwards, sideways, it doesn't matter. It's putting lines in it. That camera might not show these, but this is almost dry. The hearth here is still a little moist, so maybe it'll show it a little bit better. So I'll take this and I'll just go over it, and it provides the saturation lines because it's a serrated. It's a serrated derby, meaning when you go over something, it puts these little serrated lines in there, and those lines now allow the stucco to breathe. And when it can breathe like this, it'll dry out a lot faster. Sometimes, Lou says, well, what do you want it to set fast, or you want to play with it a little bit more? I said, I want it to set where I can play with it a little bit, because if he puts too much or not enough retardants, then I can't even get it out of the bucket. It's hard as a rock. So since I'm doing this, I thought I'd explain that. So right now what I'm doing is I'm hard rubber floating this, and this is to open it up. I'm not trying to compact it, but that's happening anyway. When you guys first buy these hard rubber floats, bend it. I want to bend the edge here, bend this edge here, bend it to me so it's not cockeyed and bent the wrong way. And this will give me, I'm hoping about 15 minutes. That way I could go ahead and do the next coat. And so again, all we're doing, guys, is we're opening it now. We're opening it, it's hardening it, it's compacting it. But for my needs, we need to get done and get out of here. So I'm showing you folks, this is more for the advanced people who watch what we do. Say it's a cold day, or you just put it on and you just think, man, because technically I could come back tomorrow and put the finish coat on, but I don't want to do that. So anyway, next time you see me, I'm going to spend another 10 minutes with this, so it'll be dried out. Next time you see me, I'll be putting the finish on. Okay, guys, we're about to put on the lime finish. Now, this is what it should look like. In my day, it was lime finish. USG had, it was lime. Today, corporations, we've got gypsum in there now. Why? Gypsum's cheaper. Anyway, all I'm doing is putting this on thin. When I say thin, it's supposed to be, say, a 1/16 to an 1/8. What happens if you go a little bit thicker? Nothing. Comes out prettier, that's all. I'm using diamond for the finish rather than imperial, because diamond has a little bit more fat, and fat is just the lime we can play with when it starts to set. We can bring it back to life with the water brush. A little bit of water comes right back to life. So, let's see. Is this 100% ready to finish? Not really, but we don't always have the luxury of having it just right. Sometimes it's too stiff. Sometimes it's like this, a little wet still. But that's okay. And what they're going to do with this is they're going to paint this. Can you tint this? Sure you can. It never comes out the color you want, but you could tint it. I remember doing a job for an architect, and he said, well, put this much in every batch. And I said, man, it's not going to come out perfect the way you want it, but I'll add just what you want added. So, and guys, Can you use joint compound? Sure you could. They got 20, 40, 90-minute joint compound. And the numbers just represent how much time you have. With diamond or imperial gypsum lime plaster, we have about 25 minutes before it starts to set. So if you're going to use tapered mud, or not tapered mud, compound mud, they have all different time sets, and you use it depending on your skill level. From 20-minute, which sets about the same amount of time as this stuff, to 40 to 90, 120. Heck, I've even used 5-minute. But 5 minutes, by the time you mix it and bring it to where you're going to use it, it's set. So don't get gung-ho and get 5-minute mud. Anyhow, you see where we're going with this. On the corners, I always like to leave them a little bit fat rather than hollow, because with a $2 brush, you can do magic with them. Back in the day when we were doing whole houses with this, we'd have Hudson sprayers and we'd wet everything. And when I was union, we'd have felt brushes. That way we could wet it, bring it back to life, and play with it and get every line out of it if they wanted it like a level 5. We're not doing level 5, we're just getting it like sheetrock right now. So we go over it a few times. And when it looks like it's hard, that's when you start to give it about 5 more minutes and use water on it. We get to that stage, I'll show you. And remember, guys, if you have an insert, don't get gung-ho and get these edges right here too full, because the insert will not fit. The insert will cover all that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. And always try to put a little bit more on your corners, guys. I'll show you why when we get to that stage. Okay, we're almost at that stage. And again, these folks are going to paint this, and if you wanted to add color, you can, but don't expect it to come out the exact color that you're hoping for. It's pretty rare, even for us professionals, kind of rare. Anyway, so now that I got that part done, I'm going to put a little bit more fat right here on the corner. Now I'll show you where that handy dandy $2 brush comes in real well. Okay, where's my $2 brush? Okay, what we will do is not use the brush itself, but the side. Take the side and go up here and leave some of that fat on. Leave the fat on, and when you do this once or twice, it really starts to harden faster. And it gives a cleaner finish. You hit it once or twice, then you hit it with your trowel once more, and perfectamundo, you got it. Out in the UK, they got, I think it's called Red Top. That's the real McCoy. That they have actual, it's more lime in it. Here, we buy what we can get. Okay, I'm gonna walk over here, finish this side. And again, I'm not using the tip, I'm just using the side. I want to leave that fat on it. Leave the fat on. You always want your corners a little bit fuller. And there you have it. Now, with a clean trowel, I'm not going to show the whole thing because it will take another 15 or 20 minutes. How many of you guys want to watch another 15 or 20 minutes? Nobody. So I will clean this up and just put a conclusion on this, and you'll get the idea. Always put water on your trowel, guys. A dry trowel will loosen the finish. It'll loosen this up and it'll bubble it. So now that this is wet, I can just go over it gently, just gently, get some of the lines out. Just like taping mud, except it's monolithic, means it's a little bit stronger. And that is what these folks are looking for, a white finish. They're going to look at it for a week or two and decide on what color they're going to paint this. And since they are, come on now, get out of there, get out of there. Phew. Oh, come on. Since they're not sure of the hearth, they're going to put stone on that another time. So I'm not even going to get into that right now because this is drying up. But there you go. This is, you can actually do this with taping mud too. You wet it and it gives you more time. But it's got to be almost near dry. Now it'll take me another 15 minutes to get this perfect, so I'm just going to leave it like that. My name is Kirk, Jason's on the camera, and Lou brought us some Girl Scout cookies. It's okay to have junk food if it's from the Girl Scouts because it's a good cause. All right, guys, that's the completion. And remember, there's a surround going here, about 4 inches in and 4 out. So we don't worry about this little stuff here. There's a mantle going on top of here. There's stone going on the hearth. It's endless what your methods are. You can do so many different things than the way I just showed you, but this is the way that's permanent. It'll outlast me by a couple hundred years. Anyway, my name is Kirk. Jason's on the camera. My brother Lou is outside cleaning up all by himself, so we're going to get out of here, but we'll see you on the next one.
All right, folks, as always, we thank you all for watching. We really enjoy your questions and comments. If there's anything you want to learn about, please let us know in the comments. And as always, from the entire Giordano family,
we'll see you on the next one.
Nailed it.